Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video we're going to go through the Forex market wrap. Going to look at the key moves of the market this week, and it's all really been focused across to the dollar. We started to see a little bit of a pullback into the US dollar this week. We haven't actually seen that much of a move. It's been quite a relatively slow week in terms of key movements in the markets. But we've just had the NFP numbers roll through, so I just wanted to go through those and explain what could potentially happen. Obviously, as well, we've talked about seasonality recently on the US dollar, so we could be seeing some short-term upside to then a longer-term reversal. So the numbers for the NFP have rolled through. We have average hourly earnings down from 0.2% to minus 0.1%. So obviously the jobs that are being created in the US are very low paid jobs. That typically is basically saying that there's less likely that the people who have those jobs will be paying too much into the economy. So it's a bit of a suggesting that there are lower income jobs that are coming into the US at the moment. The non-farm employment change actually came in quite positive for the US. So previously we had 379,000 jobs created. Now we have 916,000 jobs created. That is a little bit positive. However, like I said, the average hourly earnings basically says that those sort of 600,000 jobs that have been created from the previous month are low income jobs, and obviously the unemployment rate has stayed the same, which I thought it would have dropped a little bit lower. So it's basically gone from 6.2% to 6%. So it's not been too much of a drastic change there, considering the amount of jobs that have been created. So that could be a little bit of a negative factor for the dollar with those results. Now, if we take a look at the sort of week that we've had anyway for the US dollar, we are getting a bit of a sort of bearish close week. There were the price is basically closing towards the lower end of this candlestick, so it's not the greatest week for the US dollar. However, we do feel there could be some slight upside to the market because of the overall trend, and we want to see price come to a key supply zone, which is this one up here, for a opportunity to get short on the market, or alternatively we want to see this daily time frame change trend. But at the moment, price is obviously in an overall uptrend, but we do want to see some kind of changes here. What we may see is price coming down into these highs, a continuation from there, and then the overall move down is what we're kind of anticipating due to the seasonal analysis that we spoke of recently. So reflecting that onto other charts then, so pounds had a pretty good week. We spoke about the potential for a pullback this week. If I go to a 4-hour time frame, you can see what happened here. Basically, price came down into this major support point, rallied to the upside. This is where we were talking about we wanted to see price come into for a short opportunity. We didn't get that, unfortunately. Price didn't make it there, and price fell. But now we started to see another climb back towards this level. So in the grand scheme of things, price is still technically in a downtrend. We had this huge lower low coming in. If I actually go to a daily time frame, you can see this in a lot more detail. Lower low, lower highs, lower low. So technically we are in a little bit of a downtrend here. What we do have to be aware of is the fact that the US dollar could be weakening. So I would be looking for potential changes in trend in at this area. Is this going to be technically a higher low being formed? We need to be a little bit patient to see if that comes through. The way that would be confirmed is if we were to get a strong close above this trend line resistance and above this previous structure high. If that was to occur, we could then look for potential changes in trend and that dollar to continue to get weaken further. Going on to sort of the weakest currency of last week was Kiwi. Like we said in the Forex market outlook, however, we want to see prices coming back up towards this area. We were at a key support point, and if price was to hold here, the likelihood is that we'd get a pullback So that looks to be playing out at the moment. We have a bit of a double bottom situation, price moving back. So I would expect price to start heading back towards this key level that we pointed out earlier in the week for potential either continuations or, like I said, a reversal of the trend at that point there. One market that we did talk about as well was silver. Silver's approaching the key resistance level. You know, I do want to be a buyer of silver through April, but what I'm looking for, hopefully, is if price can come back down into this demand zone, then I'd be a buyer of the market there. At the moment, though, we've kind of broken through these lows. We're rejecting that. So we need to be a little bit careful because we could see price start to change trend a little bit. I still think that we could see some sellers re-enter the market in at this point, but you know, the market's going to do what it's going to do. If price breaks above this zone and takes out these highs in here, then we'd have to look at the change in our bias and looking for that long position after that. Okay, so future charts to look at going into the Forex market outlook next week. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.